Hello and welcome into an exciting edition of Talkin Bengals, Talkin Bengals 99, that is. It's our 99th episode, and there is so much to talk about tonight, and by so much, I mean a few things, and then it's going to be a bunch of dad jokes and other fun stuff that we're going to get into. But, Bernsey right now is apparently mowing his lawn because they don't have riding lawnmowers in Alabama. So he's just got that old push reel mower. I guess that's all he's got. But got Nick and Josh. Nick, how we doing?
Who Dey, baby.
Short, simple, love it. Josh.
Who Dey, it's nice and hot up here.
Yeah, that it is. It's a good day if you have a pool to be outside or, sprinkler or any other form of water that can cool you off. Otherwise, I recommend it. But moving into other things that are hot off the presses a couple days ago, Tee Higgins signs his franchise tag. So that is fantastic news. It means that there's not going to be all this drama going on throughout training camp. He's here, he's signed, he's ready. Well, they're all gone now, they're on vacation. But he was in the building for mandatory workouts. Josh, what are your thoughts on Tee Higgins signing?
I never saw it going anyway but this way. I mean, he's not going to leave, was it $22-something million on the table? Championship caliber team. He has something to prove. He has not had a full season since I think his rookie season where he's made it all the way through. So like I said, I didn't see any other way that this was going to go. He was going to sign. He was going to practice. He was going to be ready for the season. And hopefully they can get off not starting 1-3.
I like it. And it should be a fast start. We talked about schedule before. We'll probably talk about it more when we get closer. Nick, any thoughts on Tee and signing the franchise tag?
I agree with Josh. I mean, T has a lot to prove this year. Not playing a full season since the first year, especially with this next upcoming year after this season. It's going to be a contract year. Is he going to go somewhere else? Is he going to sign with the Bengals and look for a team-friendly deal because hopefully we'll be going, back to back. But definitely think that this year is the performance year. He needs to come out and he needs to put all the haters away.
No, absolutely, 100%. It is his time to shine. And with that in mind, if you haven't seen it yet, you are sorely missing out. You need to check out the wonderful Talkin Bengals shirt that pays homage to Tee Higgins and the Cincinnati three-way chili style. Tea and chili, better in Cincinnati. Right here, bam! Check it out. We'll get that for you. You can get your t-shirt today at Talkin Bengals at Etsy. Or you can go to our website, talkinbengals.com, and you can find it there.
Just smelled what the Rock was cooking, and it was chili.
Classy. Stay classy, my man.
Take your career to new heights with Constructive Curiosity. Whether it's career coaching, mental performance training, or business management consulting, Constructive Curiosity has the insight to get it right. Visit constructivecuriosity.com to get started today.
So other fun off-season things that are happening. The Bengals are going to be on Hard Knocks, but not the Hard Knocks, training camp edition where everything's optimistic and happy and great. Them and the rest of the AFC North will be featured on the middle of the last part of the season. What was it, last 4 weeks, 5 weeks? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. All the way through the playoffs that's focusing on the AFC North. So, Nick, what are your thoughts on Hard Knocks?
I mean, I think it's a good thing for the AFC North. It's between the Ravens, Steelers, and the Bengals. It's three of the best teams in the league. Historically speaking, when you get an AFC team, just really a real powerhouse, you're looking for the North. You're looking for the Bengals. You're looking for the Steelers. You're looking for the Ravens. Before the Browns went to Baltimore, the Browns, I guess, weren't terrible, but that there wasn't AFC North at that point. But I think that it's going to be good for everybody in the AFC North. I think that revenue will probably be helped out I think there's going to be bringing more national attention to the Bengals. Typically, the Bengals don't get a lot of national attention unless they're on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, or even Thursday Night Football randomly. A lot of times I wouldn't say anybody's watching that Thursday night game unless they're either betting on it or their team's playing in it. Because I know I don't watch Thursday Night Football unless the Bengals are playing. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to bring a lot of good national attention.
Josh.
Oh, I think it's good for him. As Nick was saying, the national attention. That's one thing that really helped the spotlight get put on the Lions last season. They were on Hard Knocks. Got to see how, I can't think of the coach's name right now, but got to see him as, he's a tough, hard-nosed, old-style coach. People fell in love with him, and if they didn't have a team in it in the playoffs, they wanted the Lions. So it's going to be fun to watch. Every team in the AFC North last season had a winning record, and the Bengals were 9-8. They were fourth. So, if the Bengals are coming up last in the division with that quarterback who has not really seen any playing time, they didn't have Joe Flacco. I think it's really helped for this to be the first 4-team Hard Knocks. They made the best choice because you chose the hardest division. So it's going to be fun to watch, especially if 2 or 3 teams. I would say probably 2 teams are going to get into the playoffs from the AFC North. Somehow the Steelers always seem to get in. I don't know how. They can be crap all season, but they'll make it in. So then there could be 3 teams that they're watching from the AFC North go through the playoffs. I think it's going to be really nice. So go ahead, Casey.
Heck, there could be 4. You never know. Not that I want it to be 4, but it's a very big possibility that it could happen. And is he here? Okay, well, it is the yard man himself out there mowing the grass when he's supposed to be doing other stuff. Supposed to be on this podcast, but he has to mow the grass so his wife still loves him. It's okay. We forgive you.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. My bad. On all accounts, it's bad. The yard was bad. Me being late's bad. That's why we make memes about me being late.
Oh, Burnsy, you got closing statements first.
Definitely know we're not on closing statements, so.
All right, we're on Hard Knocks. That was a good one, though, Josh. We're on Hard Knocks, and what are your thoughts?
Hold on. My wife's phone's trying to connect as my microphone. You guys definitely don't want to listen to bedtime up there. So give me just a second real quick. There it goes. All right, so my thoughts on Hard Knocks. I think it's going to be exciting. I think the divisional matchups that happen before the December 3rd timeframe are going to be must watch. I don't have freaking the schedule in front of me. Who do we play before December 3rd that's in the division? Nick looks like he's actually trying to look stuff up. So you don't know?
Nick doesn't do stats.
Looking up dad jokes, okay? Leave me alone.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
mean, you're a dad, so I just hope that you had some.
We got to have ones that everybody does already know.
I think Steelers is the last game. Ravens, that's the second game with them is like the last 3 games, I think, maybe.
And November 7th, you play the Ravens. Then Steelers December 1st. Browns December 19th. Steelers January 5th. Browns October 20th. And so Ravens and Browns in October. And then Ravens again early November. So during the Hard Knocks, you're going to see the Steelers twice and the Browns once.
Yeah, but I thought they were going to be recording throughout the season. Is that not accurate? They're just going to record the end of the season?
I don't know.
Like,
I didn't follow it that close. I haven't watched Hard Knocks since the first time the Bengals were on Hard Knocks.
It's been a while since I've
Santiago.
watched Hard Knocks.
It was lost in
But I also-
translation like 1,000 years ago, Brunsy.
Yeah, and I haven't watched Hard Knocks probably in that long. Plus, I also never been an HBO subscriber, so I'm just gonna go with what the fans tell me at this point.
We're here for you, fellow fans. Tell us exactly what's going on when it comes to Hard Knocks.
Guess what? You just proved that advertising on podcasts works. Reach thousands of local listeners each week and grow your business. Reach out to Talkin Bengals today to find out more by emailing talkinbengals@gmail.com.
All right. So now that we've discussed our Bengals being on Hard Knocks and all the fun stuff that's going to go along with that, I'm going to hit you guys with the surprise category that we will keep going every week, but you won't have any kind of read ahead. It is Bengals Trivia. It was a big hit last week with Guess This Year in OTAs. So this year, I'm going to give you guys an easier this year. Wow. This week, I'm giving you guys an easier question. Bengals running back Corey Dillion set the single game rushing record in 2000 with how many yards?
Oh, it's 248. No, Jesus.
What's your guess? Josh, what do you got? No Googling.
No, I don't know.
Thought a guess.
7 million.
That is correct. Yeah. All right, Zach, what do you got? What's your guess here?
You said 258, Nick. I'll go 273.
It was 278.
You get a Paul Danaher Jr. So close, Zach. So close.
It was
Hey.
278.
278.
I put the 4 there instead of the 8 because for some reason I was putting a vertical where there should have not been. The letters, the 6 and the letters, and my brain's all scattered. Leave me alone.
Okay, so shot of redemption here. Shot of redemption. Whose record did he break?
John Alexander broke it a couple games later.
No, he did not. Somebody else that broke it like a year or two later. Whose record did he break? And it stood since the 1980s.
We need
I'm just
No
going to say
guesses?
Bo
Earl
Jackson.
Buckley.
No. Nick, you want to guess that?
Walter Payton.
That is correct. And then the final portion of the question, by how many yards did Corey Dillion surpass Walter Payton? Yep, by 3 yards.
It's his last rush too. I remember that. It was against Denver. At home.
That is correct. So that will conclude Talking Bengals trivia this week. And we'll move into our
Points
next.
to me.
And Nick,
I just want to gloat for a minute. I win.
Maybe we should keep points on this and just make it more fun for everybody here. So Nick is awarded -5 points because he messed up the first part of the question.
Podium Automotive is a proud sponsor of Talkin Bengals. In Greater Cincinnati, it's Podium Automotive for all your auto needs. Skilled technicians, quality service you can trust, and fair prices. Tell us Talkin Bengals sent you and get 5% off all services. Schedule your appointment today on Facebook at Podium Automotive or call 859-869-0097.
All right, Who Dey History is next, and that's going to be talking about the great Bob Trumpy. So Josh, we'll let you start off with Bob Trumpy.
So, hi, Zach. Hi, Zach. So I always go with stats. Unlike Nick, I like to look at the stats, especially since I haven't watched all of his games. I mean, from 68 to 77. Tight end / he would play some receiver. I mean, he's had some pretty remarkable years at a time when passing wasn't really the biggest thing in the game. You'd want to pound the ball down their throats and try to beat them up. It was a much tougher game back then. But I mean, he had 1968, that would be his rookie season, 639 yards. Pro Bowl, first 3 seasons. 1969, he had 835 yards. And he was also an All-Pro that season. I mean, that's pretty spectacular for a young player to come in and basically do what most people were not doing. I'm trying to, holy crap, that's not what I was looking for. Hold up. Press the Bengals. Okay. So, I mean, let's see, they had a total of 2,720 passing yards that season, and he had over 800 of them. I mean, big target. Guy was 6'6". He was a pretty big guy. I mean, like I said, I haven't really watched much of his games, but I mean, I do know who he is. So, I mean, he had some pretty fantastic seasons, pretty long career. At a time when, like I said, they were just trying to pound the ball, he was lighting them up as a tight end. So I'll let Burnsy go.
I don't know what we're talking about. I lost connection. I had to
Trumpy.
Bob Trumpy.
go get a refill. You got me. This is gonna be a great episode, guys.
Well, I'll take over from here.
I guess Nick will cover it. Go ahead.
I know
Yeah.
nothing.
So I think what is most impressive is Trumpy having these numbers at the tight end position. Not only did he have these numbers in an era where throwing the ball was not the most popular thing, but he was doing it from the tight end position, not from a specified receiving position. And on top of that, you know, Pro Bowl 4 of the 10 seasons. He missed a total of 6 games in 10 seasons. 6 games. Right? That's awesome. And I mean, having a total of 4,600 yards over 10 years in that era. I mean, to equate that would be like having Jamar Chase playing tight end and having his ability to catch the ball and get down the field. He averaged over 15 yards a reception. That's phenomenal. Just absolutely amazing. Casey, take it away.
So since you have touched on his football life, we'll touch on his life after football. He didn't fully step away from the game ever. He was a commentator for, a long time. He got to call 4 Super Bowls. He was actually given the Pete Rozelle Radio Television Award by the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2014. And he continues to be an active member. He does stuff for the Bengals. I've heard him on different podcasts with Dave Lapham and people like that. So just a stand-up guy. He's one of the original Bengals. So that's something to keep in mind, too. He played for an expansion team, and that's usually a rough lot to try to do. It's tough coming out of the box. Played with it, loyal to the team, and just a great Bengal. So thank you, Bob Trumpy. And that will conclude the regular portion of Talking Bengals. We're now going into the off-season, or the off-season as we call it, Bengals After Dark. And we're going to go with best dad jokes. And Sunday was Father's Day. And other than Zach, who is just our ongoing joke, maybe we'll come up with some more here at some point. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, take it away.
All right. I was watching the dad jokes from the Bengals in honor of Father's Day. They were doing their dad jokes. And it actually, one of my favorite dad jokes. Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're so good at it. It's just hilarious. It's awesome.
Hey, Josh, what do you got?
What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick.
All right, I got one for you. Can a kangaroo jump higher than the Empire State Building? Of course, buildings can't jump, silly. All right, Zach, what do you got?
What does a baby computer call its father?
Data.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, what do you call fish with no eyes?
I even killed the. I'm doing phenomenal.
We're about to mute you for the rest of the episode. Anyway, Josh, go ahead.
What do you call fish with no eyes? Uffs.
The other day, my wife asked me how I got so much candy. I said, I always have a few Twix up my sleeve.
Oh, goodness. Where do baby cats learn to swim? The kiddie pool. All right, Josh, Zach, redeem it.
All right. So you guys know that I've been traveling a lot, right? So the hotel tried to charge me $10 for air conditioning. I told them that wasn't cool.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I used to hate facial hair, Casey, but then it grew on me.
It's a good one, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Josh, you got one?
So when I first started shaving my head, my kids asked me, "Did you get a haircut?" I said, "No, I got them all cut."
Oh, goodness. Let's see. What's the best one I can find here?
The other day, my wife drew her eyebrows on. They're a little too high. She seemed surprised.
While you're looking, I got one.
Go ahead.
Am I just lagging this bad, or is it?
Yeah, so we're jumping with mine. What do Japanese
That's
monsters like to eat?
Legitimate question, not a dad joke.
Raw men. Oh gosh, Zach, you're just so slow. It's killing us.
Mm.
I think that wraps it up for the dad jokes. Any other topics we want to discuss on the off-season time here?
I want to talk about one. Everybody is so concerned about the heat nowadays in kids' sports. Casey, this is going to sound surprising for me because I don't like the heat. But when I was playing baseball, I wanted it to be hot. I wanted it to be so hot that I was just sweating the entire game. No matter what I was doing, I couldn't cool down because then I never lost being loose.
Yeah.
Now everybody's so worried about index and everything else. Like, just hydrate and eat right. What are your thoughts?
Well, the hydration had a Pee Wee coach tell me at one point, you don't hydrate at practice, you got to hydrate before practice. You got to make sure you're drinking enough water, getting enough rest, listening to your body. If you don't think you can go that day, then you need to take it easy. But nobody can tell you whether or not you're able to go that day. You have to listen to your own body. And, for young children, just teach them, if you feel off, you just feel a little yucky. Okay, take it off for a while. It's fine. Go sit down for a while. It's not a big deal. It's kids' sports. Relax. But yeah, canceling things for heat, I don't understand. If you don't want to be there, you can make that individual choice. to not go, and that's fine. Everybody gets their own decision in that. Josh, what do you think?
I mean, as you all know, I own an automotive repair shop, and it's been heat index of 100 plus every single day this week. And it's not going to slow down anytime soon. And I've been working out in it all day, every day. It's been miserable, but that is the biggest thing. Whether you're playing sports, whether you're working outside, whether you're just going out with the family to go to a pool or something, stay hydrated. Just because you're in the water doesn't mean your body's getting the hydration that it needs. It needs to ingest water. So definitely stay hydrated. I mean, get some Gatorades, get some electrolytes in you, drink plenty of water, keep yourself safe, because heat exhaustion is a real thing, and it can be devastating. So, I mean, I wouldn't say canceling anything is really worth it. It's, as Casey said, and heck, even as Joe Burrow said, listen to your. It tells you what you need. If you try to push through, that's when you get injuries. That's when you can, like, he hurt his calf last season in practice, just fluke thing, but he wasn't listening to his body. He probably had a little bit of tightness. It was probably hot, and he thought he could just push through it. Definitely listen to your body and make sure you do what is best to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just Burnsy. What do you think?
Hopefully I'm caught up now and I'm not super laggy. That would be awesome. Secondly, I'm with you, Nick. Like, when we were growing up, always at the ball field, it was always hot. It was always miserable, humid, but it was great, right? I pushed through it. I fought through it. Joined the Army. We're always doing stuff, full kit, basic training. Sure, you got to do the heat index stuff and try to keep soldiers safe and trainees safe so they don't heat cat out. But at the same time, like, Afghanistan and Iraq aren't forgiving, right? Qatar isn't forgiving. Like, those heats just don't go away. So I get it to an extent, but at the same time, I'm like, man, why are we pretending like it's gonna get cooler if we go somewhere? So, and it's the same with the ball field. Like, I remember, I'm pretty sure football teams are practicing indoors for the most part nowadays, whereas, like, we were doing 2-a-days in the middle of 110s, and it was miserable. But that's what pushed us and drove us, late in the season too. I'm not saying that there's no drive or anything like that from any of the local high school teams or anything like that, but it felt like the dog days of summer pushed us to get us further.
Well,
I mean,
go ahead, Nick.
yeah, to me, it'd be like in the wintertime, getting ready to go snowboarding or skiing and then complaining that it was too cold.
Yeah.
Like baseball, you want it to be warm. Warms up the bat, warms up your mitt, warms up your fingers so you can feel the ball better. You want it hot so you can stay hot because you're moving, right? You have small muscles that you're using when you're hitting and you're pitching and you're throwing, fielding, going side to side. It's just easier to play the game when it's hot. That's the reason why they play baseball through the summer. And then, I mean, with football, to some extent, I can agree, especially with kids' sports with football. But baseball, like, you're standing there for the most part, right? Yeah, you run the bases every once in a while, or you run after a ball every once in a while. But for the most part, you're standing there or sitting on the bench cheering your team on. You have plenty of time to get hydrated. You have plenty of time to drink a whole bunch of water knowing that you're going to have a baseball practice or a baseball game. Like what Zach was saying with 2-a-days. 2-a-days for us growing up, it was dog days of summer. It was hot. it was end of July. That was the hottest part of the year. We'd have practice in the morning, right? Conditioning and practice, and then practice again in the afternoon. And it was making sure that our conditioning was there to be able to play 4 quarters of football, and then if we needed to, play some overtime, right? Because you have to be in better shape, better conditioning than the other teams. Like, especially nowadays with all the turf and everything, that's the downside of turf. Because once that turf starts heating up, that turf is 5-10 degrees hotter than a normal grass field would be. So, you have to weigh the pros and cons and, understand that, yes, you have to hydrate, you have to eat bananas and fruits and eat a pasta or, eat healthy. Like the parents, they can't be lazy, just giving their kids muffins and, cheeseburgers and pizza all the time. Have your kids eat some healthy food with you. Teach them how to eat healthy. Most kids would prefer to eat healthy, in my experience. They want bananas, they want apples and oranges and grapes and pineapples. I don't know about your kids, but my kids ask for it.
Mine do
Right?
too.
So, I mean, if they're asking for the fruit, give them the fruit. I'll let my kids eat fruit all day long.
There's another podcast out there that a bunch of dads were talking about, snacks and the cost of the bad snacks versus the good snacks, and always asking for snacks. And they were talking about it, and Shai and I were talking about it earlier today. And evidently, one of the dads, and we took this idea from them, decided that he was going to make the bottom drawer of his kitchen or his refrigerator just healthy snacks that they can go get in at any time. So absolutely, our kids do it. They love it. They'll go in, get a cup of avocado guacamole. There you go. That's what it is. I don't know. I don't eat that crap. So I eat the healthy snacks. I just don't eat guacamole. It's not me. I don't even know what it is. What is a guacamole? Like, what is an avocado? Like, is it a fruit?
It's a super fruit.
Yeah.
Look, avocado is like the best. It's like the best thing you can eat for your body. It has everything you need.
I'm good.
But an avocado itself really doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah.
You know what's good for your health? Skyline chili.
But it's not. Not at all.
Which is like we talked about. That brings us back to our tea and chili Better in Cincinnati t-shirts. Get yours today at talkinbengals.com or on Etsy at Talking Bengals. So educate, don't overprotect. Let people learn how to do the right things instead of shielding them from every danger.
That's why us old guys are saying people are getting softer nowadays.
Yeah, and that's true.
We're trying to shield our kids from too much, right? Like when I was a kid, Casey, Zach, you guys can attest to this. We played with sticks and built forts and, played army in the backyard, or Casey, you and I in your basement. We threw things at each other. We played beanball baseball, and our parents laughed at it because they knew that it was, we were just boys being boys, kids being kids.
I mean, I didn't do this with any of you guys, but I would have sword fights.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and buddy Tim, we used to throw fireworks at each other. I mean, that was a good time, especially when it blew up right next to his ear as he was throwing a firecracker. It went pop. That was good.
Hey, do you remember the dude we went to high school with that actually ate a firework for doing stuff like that? I don't remember what his name is.
Oh, was it Ben?
Yeah, Ben. There you go.
Ben, I can't remember his last name, but Ben.
Yeah, I just remember going to house parties and that man would be doing one of these with his stomach tube. That was legit.
Oh gosh, that guy is interesting. Good Lord.
Ben, if you're out there listening, hope you're doing well, buddy.
Yeah. This bud's for you if I had a bud. But I don't know. I think we're kind of winding down here. So we'll get into some closing thoughts. Josh, what are your closing thoughts?
Well, as we already said, stay safe. It's going to be hot. Stay hot. Stay hydrated. Don't stop going out and having fun, though. Just stay hydrated. Stay safe.
Word. Nicholas?
Go out, enjoy your family, let your kids be kids, and pray to God they love the Bengals because Who Dey, baby. Who Dey.
Who Dey. Thackeray?
I don't have my notes up, so I can't, plug all the socials, but I'm pretty sure that the only two ones that are at talking_Bengals are X and Instagram. The rest of them, you can find us on Talkin Bengals, at Talkin Bengals. My final thoughts. Man, I really don't know. I'm kind of all over the place tonight. Trash Pandas was a lot of fun, by the way.
Like a trash panda. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So minor league baseball just doesn't get enough love. So if you have a local minor league team, go support them. Those guys only make like $50K. They're not making millions of dollars. They would like to one day. But I mean, it's just a bunch of guys having fun, hitting 187. Saw a couple of those on the stat board this weekend. That was pretty cool. Pretty sure I could do that, but I'm also
No, you
old.
couldn't.
You don't think I could hit 187? There was a dude on the team hitting 086. I could definitely do it.
You could do the 086, but not the 187. That's almost 2 out of 10.
Hey,
every time I see people don't owe something, I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. That's lucky. That's all that is luck.
100%. I mean, I feel like 187 is pretty lucky too, though. But anyway, go watch your minor league baseball players. They're a lot of fun. And the tickets are real cheap. You're not paying $50 a person.
The beer prices.
I didn't get one, but they were only like $6. So still in a good range if you were drinking.
Not the $15 for a beer at one of the Cincinnati stadiums.
Absolutely not. So
I
don't know what it is at the floor.
Sorry, my bad. Didn't want to step on you. Go ahead, Zach.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna say I don't know what the Florence Freedom beer prices are, but do they still do Thirsty Thursdays?
They do Thirsty Thursdays. I was actually going to mention them for $2 Tuesdays. You get $2 tickets, $2 hot dogs, $2 soft drinks. I think $2 like small beers as well on Tuesdays.
Yeah, they're only like 8 ounces.
But it's $2. So.
Did I call them the Freedom? By the way,
it's the Florence Y'alls.
Yeah, it's 100% the Y'alls.
Sorry,
my bad.
Yeah, it's good. You're fine. I do that half the time. They didn't rename the road, so that throws everybody off. It's still Freedom Way. You're like, yeah, well, call it Y'all Street or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, my final thoughts. So my son had a funny comment he made earlier tonight to my wife, and I just wanted to share with all of Bengals Nation here. So he said Joe Burrow is brave because he goes out there, plays football. That is a Cincinnati Bengals fan, ladies and gentlemen. He may have said other things after that I'm not going to include on the podcast, but I will take it. Raise them right, people. Raise them right. But that's going to wrap us up here. So once again, check out our website, talkinbengals.com, where you can also check out our Etsy page, Talking Bengals. Find all kinds of awesome shirts. We do expand out, not just Bengals shirts, even though we have lots of those. We do have the guy who got tased during the Reds game. We have a Buzzkill shirt for that. If you haven't seen it, it is hysterical. Recommend getting one. And just, because that guy's a legend. We should have probably talked about him a little bit, but maybe we'll save that for the rest of the offseason. Ridiculous moments in Cincinnati sports history. But that's going to wrap for us tonight. Thank you guys for listening. Check us out next week for our century mark episode. It is the Big 100. We are going to have a fun episode next week, so check us out. But until then, Who Dey?
Hey.
Who Dey?
Who Dey, baby.